Right, welcome back everybody. Friday nights is onion night, of course. And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm hosting a giant onion growing challenge where the only stipulation is you get your onion seed from Foster's, and it's a variety called Elsie. And I'll put a picture of that because I haven't got a packet to show you all at hand. And you just do your best at growing it. And at the end of it, next year, we'll have a little weigh up, and whoever's got the heaviest wins a trophy. More on that, well, when I get a trophy. I ain't got nothing yet, but it's in hand. And it doesn't matter if you've got a YouTube channel or not. You know, I'm just trying to get people interested in growing big onions because it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? And I'm doing it in two halves as such. You can either do it with grow lights or without grow lights. And all you got to do is let me know which one you're taking part in, or both. You know, I know there's a few people who are going to do both. I'm probably going to do both. And we'll see how we get on. Right. So that's what it's all about. Tonight, I'm going to talk about two things. The grow tent, if you're using grow lights, and I'm also going to go through sowing the seeds because next Friday I'm going to be planting my seeds, and there's a few people that who haven't done it before who just wanted to see what I do, so I'm going to preempt that just in case they want to do exactly the same as me, although I don't know why you would. I'm not that good at it, but yeah, and there's loads and loads of really good videos on YouTube of growing big onions. And the only real difference from what I can see, the really big giant onions and your run-of-the-mill onions is the seed. All right, we're all looking for that one-off freak of nature that really grows better than the others. All right, so the weather's fading. It's a bit dull and dark down here, so I'll crack on. Grow tents coming next. Right, I forgot to mention earlier, if anybody would like some seed to do this challenge, I've got some to give away. Just email me, send me your address, and I can send some out to you. All right? Right. Now, pay attention, class. This is our grow tent. Right. Now, this is a tent that I grew. I didn't grow it. I made it. I didn't grow it. This is Mark II, and the reason for that is because when I started, I didn't really grasp the understanding of it, mainly size-wise. You want to make something that will take whatever you're going to use. I mean, I've got seed trays in here. So I've made mine, the first one I made too narrow and I couldn't get 3 seed trays wide. Whereas this one, now I can get 3 seed trays wide, because as we go on, potting up, the pots will get bigger and bigger. All right, so we were starting off with like, picking them out into, for me, it's 7 centimeters. Then we go to 9 centimeters. Then we go to 14 centimeter pots, and I can get all that configuration within the width. All right, and obviously the depth, just 1 seed tray in my case. And height wise, the first one I made too low. And I didn't take into account that as the onions grow, and we'll be staking them, for me, I got up to using a 2-foot stake. All right, so I had to make mine so that it allowed for where the grow light is hung, that depth, and I need to be able to adjust it up and down. So when they're, when the seedlings are young, I've just got S hooks here. I can lower it down on these chains so it's here, and as the seedlings grow, I can lift it up. All right, so that's one consideration, is the height, so you can stake them as you go along. All right, I just used I proper lash this up quickly. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does the trick. And this is a bit of 2x2 wood, a bit of 2x inch wood. You know, you can make this pretty if you want to, but as long as it fulfills a purpose. And I've lined mine with, well, it's almost like reflective bubble wrap. It was insulation material. I got it, I think, from Screwfix, just to reflect the light and keep it all focused on the plants. Whoop, steady, to help them grow. I haven't got a front on mine. You know, you could have a reflective front coming down. I didn't bother. I don't know if that's a thing. Most people's videos that I've watched, they haven't got it. The other thing to think about is I've got a small USB fan, so that when the seedlings start to come up, you can turn the fan on and just blow a little bit of breeze on them. From what my understanding is, that way it helps the roots to get a better hold and the roots to grow in strength, because if you can imagine, it's like, you know, you bracing against a bit of wind. All right, so fan, light, enough height to get a 2-foot stake in your pot. I also got a little thermometer to keep an eye on the temperature. The battery's gone on this. That's why you need to check these things prior to wanting to use them. So I need to get a little battery for that. This one actually measures the humidity as well, just to keep an eye on it. The only other thing is I found was I got myself some of those yellow fly traps and hung them up as well. This generally sits in a spare room at home. The water that I use in here, I have a watering can in that room, so the water is acclimatized to that temperature. That's about it. That's the grow tent that I'll be using, just in case anybody is interested. Right, that's the grow tent. Let's go on to the mix I'll be using and how I'm going to sow my seeds. Right, so this is just a little preliminary of what I'll be doing next week, because I know a few people have asked, you know, what do I do, so they can follow along. First of all, I'll be sowing mine, multi-sowing, just in a pot, and then I'll be pricking them out from a pot. All right. Some people might multi-sow into modules. They might sow individual modules. It's completely up to you. This is just what I do, you know, and I'm no expert. So this pot is about 4 inches deep. A mistake I made last year was I had too deep a pot, too high, and trying to I got it soaking wet, waterlogged. Rubbish. Don't do that. All right. So that's the pot I'll be using, about 4 inches deep. The mix I'll be using, I haven't actually got it yet, I've got to be honest, because I'm going to follow along with John Salisbury. He uses clover seed and module compost. I'm waiting on delivery of that, so that's what I'll be using as long as it turns up. I know Dan, he uses Jack's Magic Traditional. He gets brilliant results. And last year I used Vitax Professional. I'll put a picture up of that because I haven't got a bag of that here either. All right, so that's the sort of 3 that I know about that the good growers are using. And I'll use that as we pot along. I'll be using the same compost, but sort of add in more John Innes number 2 to gradually wean them on to a more soily, if you like, final potting. All right. That'll all be sieved through an 8mm fine sieve, and the mixture will be mixed with 2 of the compost, sieved compost. I just scoop it out with a little 9cm pot, and 1 of fine vermiculite. Until last year, I realised you get vermiculite in 2 different medium and fine. So this is fine vermiculite. If you haven't got any fine vermiculite, my understanding is you can put medium vermiculite in a blender. Don't tell the missus, or if you're the missus, don't tell the husband. And you can, grind it down, blend it down in your blender. All right. So that's that. 2 to 1 into there, and I'll be topping them off, covering the seeds with fine vermiculite, watering from the bottom till the vermiculite changes colour, and then leaving it alone. They'll go on just in the kitchen window. I think it's between 16 and 20 degrees, I think, germination for onions, and that's been fine. I never had the need for a heat pad underneath or anything like that. But say you were doing it in a cold greenhouse or something like that, you may need heat underneath to get them going. And that's it. That's what I'll be doing next week. Sowing my seeds. Look forward to seeing you then. Hope you enjoyed it. If you need seeds, email me. I've got seeds to give away. I just want people to join in and have some fun. A massive thanks to Jimmy, Pot 41B. He's been brilliant at sharing and getting people involved. So I really appreciate it, Jimmy. I really do. Right, that's it. Sun's nearly gone. I'm going to have to sort some light out for here soon, aren't I? Cheers and go on.